Hello everyone, this is chapter 15, tutorial 1, and today we're going to create a drawing for this part, and we're going to put the dimensions and put GDT symbols on it by using SolidWorks. So this is from your chapter 14, tutorial 1. So you can open the file in there, and we're going to keep working on the part out there. So this is a chapter 14, tutorial 1, and let's open this part, and we're going to add our dimensions and GDT symbols on it, and finally our drawing is going to look like this with all the dimensions and the symbols on it. And let's go back to our part, and so first of all we're going to do some document settings, and we're going to work on this part. So it's options. If you open options, and we're going to work on document properties. Okay, so go to the second tab, document properties, and we're going to expand annotations first, and go to notes, and select the font and change it to points. So first of all, click the points and change it to 9 and do OK. So any dimensions that we put, the font is going to be 9. Then we're going to expand the dimensions, this one, and click dimension, and they're going to have arrows. So whatever the dimensions we put on the drawing, so the arrow size, we're going to set them. So we're going to put 1, and the second one is the width, we're going to put 3, and the third one is the length, we're going to put 6. And after this, we're going to go to views. Okay, views. So on the part we have a section view. So this is a section view of this part. So we're going to make some settings for section view. So we click section view here, and we change the arrow size with the height is going to be 2, and the width is 4, and the length is 8. And after that, we do OK to save the setting. And by doing that, so as you can see, so document properties, it's no longer ANSI, but changed it to ANSI modified because you did some modifications. So it's going to be ANSI modified. Now we are going to generate some dimensions. So first of all, we are going to generate the dimensions on the top view. So you could use smart dimensions, but there is an easy way. So you could use the model items. So first of all, we are going to select this view, and we're going to do model items, and click this part, and select to change to entire model, and say OK for that. So as you can see, all dimensions, they are showing up here, but they are all squeezed together, so you probably don't like this. So what we can do is we drag the mouse and select all dimensions here, and as you can see on the right bottom part, there is the palette there. It's called dimension palette. So just hover your mouse on it. So it's going to expand, and click the auto arrange the dimensions. So this button, auto arrange dimensions, and the dimensions, they are stretched out. now we are going to compare with the dimensions that we want. So this is the dimension that we want. So okay, by looking at the drawing, so the first original drawing, they don't have all the hidden lines here. If we look at us, we have all the hidden lines there. So we probably want to get rid of all the hidden lines. So the original one, it does not have. So what you can do is you select the part, the view, and do it as this one. So all the hidden lines went away, and say OK for that. Now we're going to compare with the dimensions that are on there. So I have a 12, 50, 40. So let's go back to us. So the 12 is here. If I look at mine, so it says 6 as a radius instead of diameter 12. So you could select the 6 and click this 6, and you could go to liters and change it to a diameter. So as you can see, it went from a radius to diameter, and say OK for that dimension. And we have a 50 here. So let's look at where that is. I have a 25 here, so let me see if I can drag it around. If I can't change it, then I would have to delete it and dimension in other way. No, I probably can't. So I'm going to delete this dimension, then put a 25, put a 50 there. So this one is 25, and I'm going to change it to 50, and by changing this, so this is 50. So by doing that, as you can see, the dimensions I put it on is going to be gray, and the dimensions made with the model atoms is going to be black. So this is how you can tell what dimensions you made it there. So anyway, so this is 50. And another is 40, which is the third circle. So let's see if we have a 40. Yeah, we do have a 40 here, but same problem. So we are going to delete this 40 and put a 40 up there. And the next one is going to be 34. So this one, 34. Which we have a 17 here. So I'm going to drag the 17 down there, down here. And next one is 42. So 42 is probably 21, which is this one. This is not what we're looking for either. So I'm going to delete this dimension and make a 21. For 42, it's the second circle. So put this one here, and as 42, and say OK. And the next one is 5. So this is 10. So I'm going to move it here. And that's 5. So I change it to half of that, and OK. And the distance is 2, and I had a 2 above instead of below, so I would have to delete this because it's pointing out this, but we want to dimension this too, though they're the same. We just doing the same thing that the drawing says. So you could zoom in and select these 2 edges and make as 2 and say OK for that. So actually the leader is actually a little bit pointing out, so let's try to make the same shape of that by doing this. And have a 10 inside. Let's see if we have a 10 there. Yeah, it's thus not what we're looking for either, so let's delete that. and smart dimension. 10 is the first circle in there, so I go here, make a 10. And I think that's all we need. Any other dimensions, we're going to go ahead and delete them. Oh, actually, there is a 20 instead of that 40, so I'm going to delete my 40 and leave the 20 because this is black. So delete that and change it to 40. Say OK. Have a 50 up there, and I don't need this 5 either. So have a 50 here. 40 there. Okay, 50, 40 down here. 34 inside. So this one's supposed to be 34. So go ahead and change this to 34. And 42 is supposed to be here. 5 is supposed to be here, though the arrow is a little bit different. So I'll just keep in this way. You could play around if you want to. You have a 10 there. Okay, 12 up there. Then I'm good. So another thing, as you can notify, is they don't have any decimal places. And what all I have, they all have 2 decimal places. And what you can do is you go to document property again. So go to options and do document properties and do dimensions and change the primary to none instead of 2 decimal places, and all of them will change automatically. And then you save your work and rebuild the part. Now we are going to work on the aligned section view. So we're going to do the same thing. So you select the view and model items and the entire model and say OK. So all dimensions, they are there. They are all squeezed together. So we select all dimensions until the palette pop up. Then we auto arrange the dimensions. So they're all stretched out. And now let's compare with the drawing, see which one we need. We need 11 and a 3 at the top. So we need 11 and a 3. We have a 3 at the bottom. So 11 and a 3. And we need 1 and a 2 below. So we have this 3, I don't know what this is. I think they're the same thing. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this one. And we need a 1 at the bottom and a 2 here. And section view, I'm going to make it a little bit lower so I have a space for 1 and a 2. So 1 is actually on the left side, 2 is on the right side. So 1, I'm going to drag it to the left side. 2, leave it on the right side, make it a little bit longer. And 11, 3 is below 11. Okay, so I'm going to put it below 11. And have a 20 here on the right. So which I don't have one. So I'm going to delete this, and make a 20. Here to here is 20. And save the part. Now let's go back to the slide. And we're going to use hole call out to put this holes here. That's the reason I always ask you to use hole wizard, because all the informations will be there. And also create a datum, which is datum A, and also the GDT staff, which is geometrical dimension and tolerance. So this part. And let's do a hole call out first. So it's going to be the inside, the smallest hole there. So let's select that part first. So this part, so let's compare with the drawing. Looks like they have a more hidden lines than we have. Okay, so let's go back to show up all the hidden lines. So we could do this. Then the hidden lines, they showed up. Then let's select the inner circle and do a hole call out. It's going to be this button here. So click that, and the holes dimensions, they're all there. And let's put it here as the drawing size. And as you can see, the symbols I have is slightly different with the picture, because when I made the hole, I'm supposed to do it through all, but I gave a dimension there. So if you had the same issue, then if you really want to change, you would have to go back to your model and change that. And another thing is going to be the decimal places. So the decimal places, there are supposed to be 2 decimal places here. So let's go ahead and change the decimal places. So I'm going to go here. Go here and change it to 2 decimal places. The same thing here. So I'm going to change it to 2 decimal places as well. It does not change. Maybe the original dimensions I put it on wasn't right either. So anyway, you can play this around and change it. If it really can, then leave it in there and go back to change your model. And after the whole call out, we're going to do the datums. So I'm going to put it here and add the datums. So this is A. So I'm going to select the circle, which is the third circle, 1, 2, 3. So go back to the circle and select the datum, and it's A, so you drop it here and escape the datum. The next one, go to GDT staff, put this symbol. It's going to be the second circle from inside. So we select this circle and select the geometric tolerance, which is right here, and put the symbol. So it's concentricity, and with the number is 0.002, and the primary datum is A. So this is what you get. Looks right, and say OK for that, and drop it down here, but we're supposed to have down there, so let's move it down here, and maybe move A, the datum A, a little bit above. So drag this up here, and then let's compare with what we have. So this is the final that we're supposed to have. So any dimensions we put on is going to be gray, and any original, they are black. And now looks like they do want us to have all the hidden lines. So let's go back to put on all the hidden lines. So select the view and do the hidden lines. And now we have drawing. So we're going to put it in there to fit the drawing. So I'm going to select this part and drag it in a little bit so it fits the drawing, and put it below a little bit, and select this again. So move it around. Oh, not that dimension, but the whole drawing. Select that and move it around. Okay, so I have to move this because this is the parent one. The up one is the child one. Anyway, so drag it below here. So they're not supposed to be landed up one to the other. So I'm going to leave 12 here. Yeah, so they did this one up here, and it did 12 down here. Okay, we're going to do the same thing as the drawing size. Okay, now this is the work. Then we save the work. Then save as a PDF as well. So you do save and save as, and select the PDF, and we're going to put a chapter 15 tutorial 1 and save it. And also this drawing, so it's 14, so we're going to save as 15 as well. So just save as, so 15 tutorial 1 and save the part. Then that's all about chapter 15 tutorial 1. Thanks for watching. Bye.